Hello, everyone. GoldenHawk, creator of Ancient Powers and Archpriestess of House of Life. I'm coming on today to speak to you about this Venus retrograde. Venus doesn't go retrograde very often, and the last time was about 18 months ago. It's retrograde more than any other planet. The sun doesn't retrograde, obviously, so that's not a point on this. But our birth chart and where our sun is at and where Venus is at in our chart has a lot to do with what's going on. This new moon right now in Libra and where the lunar nodes are at also has a great deal to do with this. This retrograde is going to hit us more globally and nationally than just privately. Venus really isn't about romance, and the 4D loop astrology that we're normally looking at that says, hey, look at these myths, and the gods are about these really human stories about jealousy, etc., etc. It's just not flying anymore. And Venus going retrograde in Scorpio and moving into Libra is about finding balance for groups of women and for women singularly, for rights for women, and also Venus being very concerned with children. There's a lot of abundance issues with this also. Ceres is being touched by this new moon also, and the new moon being obviously in Libra is connecting all of the dots. The nodes, the lunar nodes, which means Sirius and the Pleiades, the nodes, what we bring in and what we've come here to do. And so what's been brought in on this new moon and what the intent is for this new moon has to do with Aquarius, and that's what's being brought in, the South Node. What it's coming in for is Leo, and it's talking about balanced sovereignty. And we've just been through a big thing nationally, and I'm not really into politics, but it was a little hard not to see what was going on with the Kavanaugh situation. Very hard also not to see what was going on with the situation with Bill Cosby. And a lot of the big pieces, a lot of women are being triggered. A lot of mothers are being triggered. A great deal of victims of, well, sexual predators are being triggered. This is really, really big. And the right to our own sovereign selves, male and or female, is going to be questioned. But the men around us are going to be playing their old tapes. The good old boy system is going to really rear its head up through this, and it's going to be very, very difficult. The Venus retrograde is going to go very deep through Scorpio, deep into the still waters, deep through the swamps. And there's going to be a lot of emotional pieces coming through, but there's going to be a lot of memory. Deep water, water in itself, holds cellular memory for the earth, for our bodies. And it's going to bring it up from the deep, deep depths. And some people are going to actually be feeling body pain from it. Some people already are from what's going on. I go through and zip through several of the different astrological stuff while I'm going through what's happening and taking a look at the pieces. I've been told that the new moons are extremely important this entire year. because we're on a completely new lunar cycle that started this summer, a 19-year cycle. And this is huge. The moon, very much, Tracy, the moon, very much connecting us into our spatial cognizance timepiece with our emotions and our emotional body, and into astral travel into 4D, which that's what most people experience their spirituality through. So, hello, Christina, Kathy. I don't have anybody here rolling for me to do any questions. You guys have questions, type them out, and I'll see if I can keep up. Something major is on us. Absolutely. It's really huge. And this is going to involve women, girls, children on every level. Every level. We are going to see a lot of stuff coming to a head. And we're going to see it, like I said, inside our families. We're going to see it out in public. We're going to see it on state level, national level. Change is coming. And when we move out of this, we are going to move out of this in Libra. And the balancing will be at a point of real foundational beginning. Our karmic loops, people go, oh, karma, in a past life, you suffered and were poor, and so in the next life you're going to be rich and you're not going to be suffering, and you were victimized by someone in a past life. Well, in the next life you'll get retribution. That is not how karma works. Karma ties you into a cycle of victimization. Consciousness, the level of consciousness that wants power over, does not move into a victim level. It is reborn again to go through those same cycles. We have to actually release the energy of those cycles. This is going to start happening. The karmic retribution piece that's going to happen here is really just going to be a release as we come back into balance. If we do it correctly, if we do it right. The big piece that we need to do right now is to honor ourselves, male and female, the feminine portion of ourself, the emotional portion of ourself, the receiving portion of ourself, what we are and are not willing to receive, whether we are willing to be victimizers, either end of it, any longer, because it is time. It is time to release. The stars are lining up for it. The photon belt has us aligned for it. We can make this shift. Pluto becomes involved in this in a square in just a few days. Real big, deep, explosive pieces can be coming up out of this. Be aware of this as you go through these days. We've got Mars squaring it. As I said, the good old boy club is not going to be happy with what's going on. We do understand our legal system is not about justice. It is about the law, and there is no spirit of the law. We understand that moving for justice and stopping a criminal is quite often way too much to ask. And we understand that these systems need to come down. That is a big part of what the age of Aquarius is about, and about bringing in a new level of justice, understanding, communications. The old institutions will come down. This is a big one. And it is going to be huge these next few weeks. Be sure you find your inner alignment. Don't find yourself reliving the myths. Don't play the Venus and Mars games. Be true to yourself. Don't engage where you know you're going to be giving your power away. Huge power struggles coming with the Pluto piece and the Mars piece. And engage, argue, your energy siphoned out, sucked out of you. Find a way to pull back. Make sure you have your energy intact. Follow the places where it hurts to even listen to what's going on. This is where you need to do your work. This is what you need to be released from. These are the pieces that you need to understand. This is where you need to find the balance. And this is what the Libra piece of this retrograde is offering us. This is connected to the last Venus retrograde. This lunar piece is still connected to what was going on this last January or of 2018. And this is a big cycle. The moon is connected to Saturn. It deals with time. It deals with the tides. And it deals with records. Follow what's being triggered inside you. Find a way to move into your balance. Be reflective as the moon is, and use this during the entire retrograde. Use this new moon energy. Set your intent to be reflective and honoring unto the self. To find where you're coming from, where you need to come from, what you need to release, what you're going to need to work with to find your own balance and wholeness. Male or female, we all have the Venus piece. We all have the Mars piece. We are not whole without it, and we each hold a balance. Mars can be assertive rather than aggressive. There are different ways to run these energies other than what we have taught to be and how we have been taught to believe. Yeah, there's a bunch of financial stuff going on with this too. And there's actually a great deal of abundance to be had through this shift if we're careful. If we're aware, we can move ourselves into a more abundant reality and even actually just good luck. And I have to say I've already used it myself, and so have a couple of my friends. It's like been really great. Venus is really good for business with women, for groups of women, for doing business with women or doing business with groups of women. And it's a really good time to straighten out any financial snafus. You'll find that this can be a lucky time to straighten things out if you focus on it. The balance on the other end, like I said, very excellent. The lunar nodes are also in a good position for this, but you have to stand sovereign. And this is a 3rd and 10th house piece. So this is going to shift and change how the people around you see you, how groups around you see you, and where you are connected actually in consciousness. So I just want to say have a great month. And ladies, keep your temper. Seriously. Don't let Mars push. Don't let Mars trigger. Don't let your buttons be pushed. Step back. Use this to your advantage. Gentlemen, If you find yourself being swayed to answer in an old manner rather in the way that you have been working to bring yourself into greater openness and greater spiritual awareness, you step back and take a look at where this is coming from in your subconscious, and love and light, Neferka, and I'll see you all in a couple days. Kat will be with me, and I might have another guest here.